Chance to do that tonight. And Wake Forest, meanwhile, has 5 more conference games. They want to win out and get back to 500. And here's the opening swing of the match from Ava Brizard. Off the block, point NC State. Brizard has 9 double-doubles coming in, just over 3 kills a set. She's a huge weapon on the outside.
I was going to say on Wednesday she was able to notch 9 kills against the Deeks, so she's getting a head start on those numbers.
This is Sydney Daniels on the float serve. Gives a lot of trouble for Wake and an ace. 2 quick points for the Wolfpack.
We talked about that before the game. That serve and pass game is really going to be what makes or breaks this Wake Forest team tonight.
NC State is a serving team, top 5 in aces. Pitt with Olivia Babcock continue to serve lights out. There's really no stat Pitt isn't leading the country, but the Wolfpack are pretty good on the line too. Nice dig on the back row from Daniels. Another dig for Farrell. We have 2 elite liberos tonight, and that shot does not touch hands, or does touch hands. So point Wake Forest.
Looks like Coach Slabay looking for a touch, but we'll take a look here at number of aces in the ACC this season. NC State 1.77 a set. Might not sound like a lot, but just from serving, we love easy points in volleyball.
State was in the bottom 3 in serving last year, all the way up to 3rd. That's a huge growth as that swing tools the hands of Olivia Frankie. Nice dig, and that lands down. Point NC State. Good presence at the net from the Wolfpack.
And that's usually one of the strengths of the Demon Deacons, is getting those scrappy plays and outlasting the other team. But it seems like NC State's offense is really bringing the heat tonight.
NC State as a team hits .220. That's in the top half of the league. Where they've struggled is defensive errors. Lucas Slabay mentioned, got to be better in passing. So Sky Stokes tees it up. There's the right side. Maybe one of the best in the ACC. Amanda Rice, her first kill.
Amanda Rice was electric earlier this week. Tied for first in blocks with 4 against the Deeks, and then 9 kills. They really need to figure out a remedy for those pin hitters soon.
Stokes goes back row as Jamie Santer comes into the front for Wake. There's a touch of the net. And a kill for the right side, Olivia Murphy. Murphy's been battling a nagging knee injury the last month. Her presence important tonight, Haley.
Absolutely. It seems like a lot of the Deeks have been battling injuries, so we've seen a lot of different lineups throughout the season.
Including Frankie, who's in at middle, now serving. That's scooped up by the setter, Baker. And Santer, the converted beach volleyball player, in on the right side here. Santer into the net, point NC State.
We see Maruska not in the lineup tonight. She's been filling that secondary outside position lately. But against this tall NC State team, the Deacons might just be looking for a little bit of a different matchup.
They love Santer's passing in the back row as Farrell sends one all the way to the cheerleaders. Charles flips it over and in.
Wow!
Best pass of the year for Dior Charles, the LA native.
That's a way to get your first kill of the night.
An elite athlete with a little bit of touch this time.
Let's take another look at that pursuit play. Middle to middle as well. I love that. Unlucky for the pack.
Janelle Davis, our lead referee, agreeing with the line judge. So point Wake Forest. Wake will run a 1-setter offense, but rotate in the center based on rotation. So Becca Bellows, who's about 50 assists short of Ryan Baker, she comes in now.
And we talked about that before the match, how it burns a lot of subs to do this kind of layout. So we might see some switches here.
Also for Wake, Layla Ricks into the front row, power hitting transfer for Maryland. Bellows first touch to Charles. Great hands and a roof for Jada Allen. How valuable is that block tonight for NC State?
The block really is going to be a huge factor, but I think more so, again, just down to the serve and pass. Wake Forest becoming really myopic with their offense, so it's easy for NC State to set up that block.
Wolfpack had double-figure blocks on Wednesday to put Wake out of system. Here's Santer. Off hands and another block, but that goes out of play. Point Wake Forest.
just out. Wake Forest still struggling to get a pass in front of the 10-foot line. Let's take a look at that block here. Beautiful close, just kind of unlucky. Maybe if the AC was a little higher in here, that would blow in.
Here with both teams playing in Reynolds gyms, one a Coliseum, one a gym. Just make for some fun camaraderie there. Nice swing down line. That's Ava Broussard, the Michigan native. She's got a rocket of an arm.
Absolutely, and finding the floor through two of the taller blockers for Wake Forest tonight.
Broussard hit 250 on Wednesday in that straight set win. And the NC State bench has to move back a couple of inches.
They have a big team here tonight. They traveled everybody, only about a 2-hour commute for them.
And Farrell to bump this. Paige Crawford through the block, the all-ACC caliber pin hitter.
Paige Crawford is just so good out of system, such a bailout. She had 2 solid blocks on her and still able to find the tiniest seam down the line.
Paige Crawford enters at 2.8 kills a set. That leads Wake Forest by almost a full kill. What a nasty serve and an ace for Farrell. It's a low and slow floater, but can cause problems.
She's been really enjoying her short serve lately. I noticed in a lot of short serving, so I love that she mixed it up deep and was able to get that ace going.
On Wednesday, Wake had some serving issues, 8 errors in that straight set sweep.
Ooh.
Good hands from Rick, slowing down Broussard. Ava again. Off hands, a little confusion. This is Crawford. Great dig by Stokes. Sky gets it over, one libero to another. Soft touch into the campfire. Williams off hands. And it's Madison Williams, the Texas transfer. Farrell to the floor. Crawford touches. Excellent rally. Broussard off hands. Rick stays down. Broussard into the roof. Stays alive and over. Bellows middle. Frankie touched. Here's Crawford. Off hands. Big rally, Wake Forest.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. Wake Forest does such a good job in those scrappy plays, outlasting their opponents, and that's where they can get really sneaky.
Randy Smart's team so defensive-minded. Those long rallies could play a factor tonight.
Those long rallies are what really wears down not only your body, but your morale a little bit.
Double-digit swings on that rally alone. It's just 1 point. 7-7 here in the first.
Getting everybody involved.
Williams right back in towards the hand. It takes one swing to end the rally. That's what makes college volleyball so fun.
I love it, and that's Williams' first kill on the night, getting her involved. I know we talked to Coach Smart before the game, and one thing that she said was, you know, letting their right sides get kills is fine, but having their outsides all hit in the positive as well. They have to be able to stop those pin hitters.
Naomi Cabello now in the service. Her first year as the full-time setter. A former defensive specialist. Ricks back row and splits the difference. First kill for Layla.
Rick's waking up a little bit. She usually is one of the top kill leaders for the Deacs. She was a little quiet on Wednesday and seems like she's heating up tonight.
Wake Forest has some big shoes to fill. Olivia Fish out for the year with a knee injury. Peyton Seuss graduated, so there was an open hole on that right side. DeFeo back set. Rice tees off. Farrell almost saves it. And a point for NC State. Amanda Rice, 2 swings, 2 kills.
Let's take another look at that swing down the line. Just off Crawford's non-dominant hand.
Santer to the floor. Good in-system play. Frankie had 8 kills Wednesday. Nice start tonight.
And that's what happens when that pass is able to get a little bit tighter to the net. Ryan Baker is a little bit more comfortable with the middles than freshman Becca Bellows, and you're able to see how that quick tempo is able to get that one-on-one blocking situation.
Julia Haggerty, the most efficient middle in this conference from Boston College. Frankie, the last 2 matches, playing at that level at a 600 hit percentage. Now Frankie goes up for the block, gets a hand on it. Brizard touches hands. Over ball, put away. That's Sophia Groom, first-year starter in the middle.
And that's the exact kind of ball that you want to put away. Kind of the rule of thumb in volleyball is you should only hit an overpass if you know for a fact you're going to get a kill.
Sophia Groom, the nutrition major, had just the right combination of magnesium and vitamin B12. Terminates the point. Here's Santer into the block, and what hands. Allen and Rice there. They call her Big Red. That time she's Big Ruth.
Really great serving by the pack. Giving even Emma Farrell a little bit of trouble, leading to that huge block.
If it's a solo Rice block, is it a Jasmine block? We'll discuss nicknames later as that serve goes into the net.
We'll have Frankie back to serve. Again, coming off an injury, hitting over 500 is incredible. Let's see what she can do behind the service line.
Olivia Frankie, 112 career matches, but has battled injury much of her final season. Rice tips Santer. NC State hitting 300 in the set. Brizard into the active hands. Charles wins it. One more time. Charles saves it. Rice into the roof. That's the Dior Charles rally.
Dior Charles is such a big presence at the net. She's definitely not one of the tallest middle blockers in the ACC, but she just has such great reach, timing, and hang time. But it looks like there's a little bit of a chit-chat going on with the down rep and the pack coaches. I'm not sure what they're trying to decide. That was kind of a long rally. But as a reminder, Charles wouldn't be allowed to cross that plane of the net unless it's on that third contact, so he might be complaining.
And Luca challenging a possible touch of the net here for Wake Forest.
Oh, he's asking about her hair, so he definitely must be talking about some sort of net touch. And we had some trouble last week or the week before when the Deacs played Syracuse with some hair in the net. There are several calls on that as well. You can see.
So the call will stand.
He didn't use his challenge though, so he must not have been super sure, because as a reminder, it's use it and you lose it with those 2 challenges until the 5th set where you get an extra one.
Nice response for Courtney Bryant, her first kill. Bryant and Brizard have complimented. So the Dior Charles shoulder hit the net.
So he was right if he would have called it, but it's so early in the match. Oh.
Charles punches one left hand. She's a freak athlete using that physicality there.
Absolutely able to out-physical her opponents there at the net.
Dior Charles, who was high school teammates with Olivia Babcock and Carrie Keefe. Look at the effort here.
Beautiful timing on that. And this is a great front lineup right now for the Deacons, with Ricks and Charles up, both offensively and defensively with that block.
Block and 2 kills for Charles early. Williams, that's a high set. Santer off hands. Good effort to save it by Bryant. Santer again. Tees off. Cabello towards the SID. Annie Hirschfield, and that's out of play. Annie's quick on her feet too, not just typing out the notes. Extremely
quick on her feet. We might need to recruit her out here.
She did give us a note earlier. Jada Allen is now 5 kills away from 400 in her career, 395.
So
always
a
good
see
nugget.
That tonight.
Annie and Keon Robinson here away. Always give us something good. That ball shot long, no touch. So hitting error for Courtney Bryant.
I do really love the distribution I'm seeing from Kate Peterson, the setter for NC State. Although she's a redshirt freshman, I feel like her decision-making has been really good thus far.
What an ace for Becca Bellows, and it leads to our media timeout. Wake Forest serving it well here in set one, looking to flip the script from Wednesday. It's the Deacons up 3 here in a rematch on ACC Network Extra.
Today, Pro Humanitate is still Wake Forest's much cherished motto. It tells us to be friends to all humanity, to teach, to help, to serve. Wake Forest really has no peers. We succeed or we fail only insofar as we are true to our commitments, to our own ambitions, with friendship and honor.
This is ACC basketball, where greatness is defined by grit, determination, championship coaches, and exceptional athletes. The premier conference in college basketball. With dynamic programs and returning superstars, the ACC is loaded with talent ready to command the court. Winning isn't just the goal, it's the expectation. This is the ACC. Accomplish greatness.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, so I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I thought I'd get a wax figure of myself. Cool, right? Look at the craftsmanship. I mean, I even got my nostrils right. It's just nice to know, years after I'm gone, this guy will be standing the test of time. He's melting. Oh, geez. No. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
3 weeks from Selection Monday in the ACC from a volleyball standpoint. And Haley, look at those top 4 teams bound to host when it comes to making the top 16. But if you're NC State at 48 RPI, these next 2 weeks are vital for a resume.
The Pack has found themselves in a bubble situation, and as a reminder, although 64 teams make it to the tournament, you have to fight out conference champions. You have to think about the wild card. So they're going to need to improve that RPI a little bit. So it's imperative that they win this game and their following games.
Worth noting, NC State an RPI of 42 a year ago and were the last 4 out. So when you're looking at that list, Miami at 37, State at 48. Virginia's had a great year with Tater, a great outside hitter. All 3 of those teams are fighting for wins these next 2 weeks.
I know we talk about this all the time, but it really just is a testament to how competitive the ACC has been.
Becca Bellows off an ace, does it again. No, that's kept up.
Oh, they called it down.
Ace. The line judge overrules. So ace, Becca Bellows.
One of the cardinal sins of serving is to miss your serve after a timeout. So
that's a pancake to save it. Is it flipping a flapjack when it bounces off the net and flips over?
No, but it could be a backhanded flipper is a popular one.
All the terminology we're learning tonight here in the ACC. Rex 1v1 wins the block off Williams.
Rex with her second kill, hitting 1,000 tonight.
And unlike Wednesday, as we see a timeout from Lucas LeBay, Wake hit below 100 in set 1. What's flipped the script here? Now 269 in the first set.
Absolutely. They were hitting a 110 on Wednesday, just really not able to get any sort of offensive production. Although their passing hasn't quite been where they probably wanted to be, they're still doing a really great job finishing the play. And we can see they've made NC State struggle a little bit from behind the service line.
Mix in 3 aces for Wake Forest, and now their largest lead at 5. Here's what's cooking for Randy Smart's team. 6th year at Wake, a club that's won 17 games back-to-back years. That's certainly on the table at 13-13, but all of a sudden here, Haley, just one of their last 5, and the schedule coming up is brutal with the likes of SMU, with Pitt, and Miami in the next 2 weeks.
Exactly. Although they're not a bubble team, there always is a potential for building for the next season, or maybe going to the NIBC or something like that. But if you're Wake Forest, it's your time to pull down the RPIs of everybody that you're playing against and get some good feelings going into the offseason and into that spring training.
Man, next weekend's going to be electric. Pitt and SMU here in Winston-Salem. That's, if you're looking for Final Four, Elite 8 type of teams, that'll be a great weekend on ACC Network Extra. NC State will face the same clubs, it just flips with the similar travel schedule.
And it's amazing. We talked about, again, just how close the ACC is in terms of talent. We were talking before the game about NC State beating Louisville and all of these different players able to really see competition at the highest level, even if they're at the bottom of the ACC, able to take somebody down from the top. And we don't see that in every conference.
Out of the timeout, Wake serves it with Bellows. Madison Williams a little off balance. State playing out of system a ton tonight. Nice dig by Cabello. Paige Crawford back in the back row.
Oh.
Campfire kill. Bellows, 2 aces and a double.
We're seeing a lot of scrambling with NC State. That panic, that scramble, getting really out of system. And now we're seeing some subbing going on.
This is Martina Leoniak, who's been battling injury all year, the Warsaw, Poland product. Last year, she was an honorable mention all-conference in the ACC. This year, just a handful of matches.
6'4" outside hitter, so bringing a lot of height to that pin over there. Great matchup for Ricks.
Played on the Polish national team, and she gets targeted on serve, but that goes wide.
Hey, if I'm her, I'm thinking, point me, good for me.
Lucas LeBay not afraid to make some subs late in this set.
We see Brizard sneak back in, and she's hitting a 250, but she's only had 8 attempts.
Courtney Bryant with 20 aces on the year. Make it 21. Blackjack.
Another thing, again, that we talked about previous to the match was at times Wake Forest gets down into these ruts. They get up big, and then they lose 8-9 points in a row. So they're really going to need to tighten the bolts. And that missed serve will certainly help them do that here in this late progression of the game.
Wake on Wednesday had a 24-20 lead. Late in that third set, NC State came storming back, won in bonus points. And that's what allowed State to sweep Wednesday night. Jamie Santer with 2 kills now to serve. They test Brizard. Great in-system block. Wow, Charles can rise up.
Absolute stuff block against senior 6'1" middle blocker Jada Allen. It looks like she might have overrun the set a little bit, and Dior Charles just had a great read on that block.
Timeout, NC State again. And the presence of Charles, we didn't see as much of that Wednesday, but Wake has a physical middle combination here. They're using it a ton tonight.
I know they only have 2 blocks in this set, which is still a lot, but it feels, you really feel the presence of those net players a lot more than just 2 blocks and what you're seeing on the stat sheet.
Wake last season was a top 5 blocking team in the ACC. Still solid at the net, at 5th in the country, or sorry, 5th in the league, but they'll use a lot more of that tonight. 3 total blocks.
Absolutely, and if you're NC State, you can kind of see them getting passionate in the huddle, which I love to see, but you're going to be talking about how you're going to work on closing that block, not getting tooled high off of hands, and what you're going to be running off of a good and maybe not so good serve-receive pass. But I really like seeing the leadership step up and talk with each other before the coaches come in.
Wake Forest, who's basically playing now for pride at the end of this season. They want to show they can compete at the ACC level. Lost 4 of their last 5, but talking to Randy Smart pre-match, said it's a mentality thing for this group. They have all the tools, but can they piece it together and close out sets? This is a great example.
Precisely, I know we talked as well, talking about 28% good passes against NC State on Wednesday. It's really hard to be efficient if only 28% of your serve-receive passes are giving you 2 or 3 options. It again makes you really, really one-dimensional, and we're seeing great balance with the Deacons tonight.
Jamie Santer back in a serve with a 6-point difference. Tight set. Great save by Farrell on the Allen smash. Another tip from Charles. She's been everywhere on the set. And a free ball. Now you got to feed the middle. Back set. Rex gets dug out. Brizard off hands and a kill for NC State. That's what makes Ava dangerous. She tools hands effectively.
She does a really great job tooling those hands, but Wake Forest also kind of knows the ball is coming to her. NC State's middles are hitting in the negative cumulatively right now. So they're kind of leaving the middle and able to trap both of the pins.
The middles on Wednesday hit 275, so that opened the outside.
Stark contrast.
Today, near a 0 hit percentage. A great point, Haley. Options for Peterson. Leoniak drills one down line. What a return to the lineup.
First kill back, I'd say you're feeling pretty good after that. Let's take another look at that swing. Wake Forest block and defense there, but she brought the heat.
Marta Leoniak, a former starter, battling injury all year. Only her 7th kill of the season. Deep serve. Crawford touches. Nice save, Peterson. That's over. Options Bellows. Charles off the tape. To the floor. Point, Wake Forest.
NC State just has not figured out how to stop Dior Charles hitting 200 right now. 2 kills on 5 attempts. But Wake Forest as a whole right now hitting a 258 with NC State hitting a 176. It's really hard to win games hitting below a 200.
As Emma Farrell serves up 5. That's serving for Wake's benefactor. Handful of aces. Broussard rolls it over. What a save by Farrell. Groom rises. Farrell saves. Rick smashes out. Point NC State.
This is the momentum push right here that NC State needs. Wake Forest tends to get into a little bit of sub trouble around this point. It's been a lot of point-for-point volleyball, so they've been rushing through those rotations, and you only get 15 subs. So we might see NC State get into some weird patterns here.
Now Naomi Cabello in to serve. 10 career double-doubles for Naomi. Bellows middle. Frankie to the floor. Nice kill for the 6th-year senior.
Almost a wildly good dig for NC State, but again, that's what's so nice about having Frankie in the middle. She's so dynamic offensively and defensively. She's not just one of those middles who's big and tall and there to get blocks. She's really an offensive presence. Again, we talked about her getting 8 kills against NC State in the last game.
Now a 5-point difference. Cabello outside. Broussard blasts it long, no touch. And Lucas LeBay, he might challenge this. He's checking with his players and elects not to.
The Wolfpack bleeding out those unforced errors here in this first set. Maybe it's just first set nerves.
Wake Forest winning a lot of points on serve tonight. That was not the case Wednesday. Look at the effort of Baker. Murphy in the match. No hands. Actually, there was a hand touch late. Point Wake Forest.
It seems like everything is going the Deacons' way right now, which can really deflate the momentum for NC State. Sometimes it feels like you just need to get that break.
Set point for the Deacons. This is a 3-0 run. Stokes outside. Broussard touches. A free ball. Rice puts it away. NC State hanging around. Amanda Rice, an elite right side threat for NC State. Over 2.5 kills a set. They'll take a Herculean effort here. Match point 2. Set point 2 for Sydney Daniels. Bellows middle. Frankie blocks, and Groom extends the set.
And this was actually the exact score that Wake Forest lost the first set, 25-19 over in Raleigh earlier this week. So we could be seeing a flip situation here.
The Elon transfer Daniels continues to serve. Murphy blocked again. Make it 3 for NC State. All set points.
Sounds like we might be seeing that other reverse situation where NC State was able to come back on Wake Forest game point for the set.
Randy Smart calls a timeout. These are the exact moments Randy talked to us about pregame. How do you put a match away? How do you put a set away? And credit to NC State here. Their block has kept the Wolfpack alive.
They've jumped up to 5 blocks here. The last 2 and 3 being here right at these critical points, but even if NC State doesn't pull away with this set, which is going to be a little difficult at this point, their momentum and their morale as a team has picked up, and they've figured out some key pieces on how to shut down the Wake Forest offense. So Wake Forest is really going to want to improve on not only the pass, but getting that offense around that big NC State block going into that second set to make sure they keep their own morale and momentum high.
The NC State team at 13-10 needs every win they can get over the next 2 weeks. Last 4 out in last year's tournament. Right now would be among the last 5 in or out according to your projections.
And obviously sets don't really matter, but if you wanted to get a wild card or something like that, albeit unlikely, they might take into account that they dropped a set or had maybe too close of a comfort game against Wake Forest.
The key for NC State, they need to win some quad 1 matches. And with SMU and Pitt coming up, you get 3 quality chances to pick up huge wins.
And 2 shots at SMU, which, as we know, can be good or bad, as we're seeing here tonight.
So everything in front of NC State. Also 3 straight points to save off the set.
And this is a tough rotation for the Deacons.
What can Sydney Daniels draw up? 3 straight set points saved. Farrell returns it. Crawford terminates set 1 and Wake the 25-20 winner. Something Wake Forest could not do wins. Really good volleyball coming in. Now down in this set. Let's begin set 2. Murphy's first touch. Scooped up by Amanda Rice. And Crawford sends one towards our camera up there. Hello. Point NC State.
Broussard slowly chipping away to improve that hitting percentage. As a team, they're hitting 171. She just went from 150 to 214.
Now Naomi Cabello ready to serve it up. She fills a big role. Maggie Jones, who had over 5 assists a set last year. This is a nice role for NC State. Santer goes off hands. That was a good first set for Jamie. Brad Senior transfer rips one to the back row. Randy Smart loves the competitive fire of Santer, and a converted beach player, that's a hard spot to come in.
You're exactly right, but she has such an arsenal of shots, which makes it really difficult to defend her consistently.
There's a tip dug out by Baker, and Santer goes again. Groom insistent. Great swing from the Orlando native.
And that's the ball you have to put away. If the Deeks are giving you an easy ball, you have to be able to convert on that. We're going to take another look. In that in-system play, it kind of looked like she might turn it to the 1 and then threw her thumb down to throw it to the 5.
Sophia Groom's been really good. 10 kills against Duke. She's had multiple matches hitting 400 or better. As this deep serve goes to Farrell. Santer into the roof. Groom and Rice there.
The 6th block for NC State. Wake Forest only sitting at 2, which, as we mentioned, is unusual for the Deeks.
Big middle presence for the Wolfpack tonight. Now Daniels back in. That serve long in the service area. It was a really good service set for both teams in set 1.
Wake Forest 3 aces, NC State 2. And when you're only winning a game by 2 or 3 points, that makes a huge difference.
Especially late in the year, you want to have more aces than errors. A lot of coaches like the 1-to-1 ratio, but anytime you're in the positive, that's a great sign. As Bellows goes low. Rice tees off. Block stays in and kept alive. Daniels the recovery. Santer puts it away. Nice second set for Santer.
Great second set for Santer. We're seeing the Deeks cause a lot of panic for this NC State team. You see a lot of people, while the ball is still in the air, looking at each other. Beautiful swing by Santer.
Bayo tight to the net. That block goes out and a kill for Bryant.
Only her 2nd of the night. whereas Wednesday she led the team with 10.
Courtney Bryant, stud 3-star sport athlete, basketball, softball, and volleyball, grown up in Hardy, Virginia. And now the fearless leader of this offense for Lucas LeBay. Here's Sky Stokes. Bellows quickly. Charles missed it out of bounds. Point NC State.
Unusual and uncharacteristic mistake, I would say, but I think the set was just a little low.
Randy Smart, who was a setter herself in college, does so much work with Bellows and Ryan Baker, her two setters. You could talk setting for hours with Randy Smart coming into this matchup. So Bellows goes outside. Santer tools. A scrappy point here in set 2. And Santer misses long. Oh, there's a late touch call, so point Wake Forest.
And that's going to be big for Santer. She was hitting in the negatives, although it doesn't feel like that, especially here in the second set. That puts her at 4 kills, 4 errors on 14 attempts, so hitting 0. Not completely ideal, but she's still been a factor. Let's take a look.
Amanda
It
Rice
looks like
touched
there
the
might
net.
be.
Our producer, Everett Hutto, he does not miss. And when he says he sees something, you trust him. Elite vision. Rice tees off, and then a net touch on Wake Forest.
Oh, as a libero, you hate to get a great dig and you look up and somebody's in the net.
Amanda Rice has a chance to be an all-ACC right side this year. I think Carrie Keefe will be in that discussion as well, but really good year for Rice. Today, though, 4 kills on 7 swings. She serves it. Crawford. Nice roll shot. And a rare dump kill for Wake.
Those are the points at this level that you really can't let happen against you, especially on your libero. You want the other team to roll and tip to you.
Here in Winston-Salem, a Big Four rivalry. Wake Forest dominates set 1 and holds off a late rally. And now in set 2, Peterson goes outside. Leoniak scoops a kill. Nice cross-court shot.
Her thumb down shot is pretty much undefendable with how high she gets. She's just got a really heavy arm, a lot of power. And that's a hard set to hit from over the shoulder.
And Farrell's well positioned there too. She's playing the cut shot. There's no chance to stop Leoniak. So Bellows back sets Ricks. And another net touch. We've seen that a bunch here in the set. Anything to that here, Haley?
I would say just panic and being a little bit undisciplined. Both teams really want to go up and grab the ball. I'm sure they're talking a lot in the huddle about get up and get blocks. And sometimes when you're being aggressive, you're going to make aggressive mistakes.
Here's Ryan Baker back in at center. Kate Peterson has shined in this 6-2 offense. Goes into the campfire. Now Broussard through the double and a great swing from the 10-foot line.
Great play by NC State. They're starting to really sharpen up that out-of-system play. A little poke off the block and right in the seam.
Lucas LeBay calls her a train. She's a locomotive when she swings. Great power. And here's the float from Allen. Good tip from Groom up front. And Leoniak misses long. Wants a hand touch. Won't get it.
The first error of the night.
And Luca was looking at the analytic computer. He wasn't even worried about the challenge right there. He was checking the numbers. Longtime coach for the U.S. women's national team up until 2021.
Pretty decent credentials, I'd say.
Won a gold medal and then was a silver medalist himself as an athlete, playing for Slovenia. State from the back row. Crawford digs it. What a nice start for Frankie in the middle. Give her 3 kills.
Starting to heat up for the match. Wake Forest hitting a 255 in the current set of 308.
Randy Smart loves having Frankie back. Her presence in the middle provides a lot of balance for this offense. as Crawford serves. Low floater scooped out by Groom. Feeder again. Crawford saves. Farrell effort. Not enough as the Wolfpack up one.
Such a scrappy team on defense. If you're the Wolfpack, it feels like you can never celebrate until 30 seconds after the play ends just to make sure.
On Wednesday, there weren't as many long rallies as we're seeing tonight. I don't know if it's the back-to-back nature, but much more competitive 2 sets. With these travel partners, first year they've been partnered together, State and Wake Forest. Santer causing a ton of trouble in that return. And Rice goes cross court. Lucas LeBay fired up for Rice.
She's got an electric arm. When she goes up, watch just how quick her arm swing goes. They always say you want your arm to be finishing to your knee before you hit the ground.
Rice has been electric in this set. So Santer sneaks it through the block. Point Wake Forest. I've just seen a ton of energy from Coach LeBay tonight. He knows how important this set 2 is.
That he does. I love seeing the energy from the coaches, and I love seeing it transfer to the players.
Frankie on a slow floater. Cabello to the floor. Brizard blasts one back low. Murphy. Nice dig from Bryant. And Rice tees off.
And that's the rotation NC State wants to get out of, because if you notice, Rice goes all the way from left back, has to run all the way around to hit that ball. It's a lot of running to be able to go and then transition to swing.
And that downline defender has basically no chance. Frankie was playing self-defense. Here's Daniels. Charles punches. Great scoop, Capello. And that goes out of bounds. Point Wake Forest.
Effective. The first time I've seen Wake Forest run kind of that B ball or that 32 ball tonight, where the middle swings in between the typical middle position and the outside to get in between the block. And we already have Becca Bellows back in.
Randy Smart runs what she calls a modified one-setter offense, where the setter will go all the way throughout and then rotate in the back row. She wants to save herself for late in sets. So Santer has played a lot tonight. She's had ACC high in kills. And that ball goes out towards us, point NC State.
And Wake Forest has the flexibility. They have Drew Lalaji, who can, a freshman DS, who can easily sub into that position if they need to modify it to a one-setter kind of offense. They have really great dimension.
Here's Sky Stokes. Rex in the middle misses long. A little pipe play, but that's out of bounds.
I like the idea on that because it's awkward to have Dior Charles run in. It kind of creates that traffic jam. So you throw Dior Charles either on a slide or have her run that 32 and let Ricks hit that big 2 ball.
We noted NC State third in serving. Stokes is the specialist, top 5 in the conference in aces. Puts a twister on Santer. And she goes into the net. So that serve effectively wins the point for NC State.
Absolutely does. We see Santer, when that passes off the net, it pulls the set off the net, and then she was hitting it behind her. It just makes things really awkward.
A 3-0 run for the Pack, all on serve. Over ball.
Took out their setter.
Bryant into the block. And nice hands from Ricks.
If you're NC State, you kind of blew the gimme ball that Wake Forest gave you, especially now that you're able to get a little bit of a point differential here. You really want to widen that against the Deeks.
Coach Jake Hong, the serve specialist for this staff, talking over with Jamie Santer. Back corner to Stokes. Bryant finds the floor. Sorry, Jada Allen, my apologies. And now we'll take the media timeout. NC State flipping the script from set 1. It's 15-11 Wolfpack. We got plenty more from Winston-Salem. We return.
Whopper, Whopper, what's that Whopper? You created these showstoppers, crunchy, saucy, tangy toppers. I'm getting hungry.
Introducing the Mexican Street Corn Whopper. Crunchy, spicy. The Maple Bourbon Barbecue Whopper. Sweet, saucy. And the Fried Pickle Ranch Whopper. Crispy, tangy. But the real question is, do they top the OG? Guess you'll have to come in to find out.
BK, have it your way.
Picture this. It's almost Black Friday, but you've had your eye on that sofa forever and can't wait. So don't. You can shop our early Black Friday sale now. Save up to 20% on almost everything. Yep, this plus doorbusters. Sounds like a perfect way to get a head start on Black Friday. At Value City Furniture, you don't have to picture it. You can experience it.
Plenty of red and old gold here in Winston-Salem. A Big Four rivalry separated by just an hour and a half. And NC State coming alive here in set 2. It's a Wolfpack team that feels a little disregarded after coming up last 5 out of the tournament a year ago. So adopting the model, why not us? Largely based on success in the men's basketball program. TJ Burns and crew, so much fun on the Final Four run. And here's NC State Volleyball, hasn't made the tournament since 2017. They feel like this next month could put them right back in the picture.
And I think that's absolutely a great point. Why not us? I know I mentioned in the break that was also Brigham Young's University. That was their motto back in 2013, 2014, but it was with the BYU Y, which was really cute. And they made a great tournament run and have been really consistently great. So there's got to be some magic behind the motto.
Lucas Lebay's team won, quad 1 win. They have a chance at a few more in the next 2 weeks. More good serving from Rice. Another ace for NC State.
We saw Emma Farrell give a little push to Santer, who might have been in her way, and that'll be a timeout for the Deacons. Much needed after back-to-back aces.
Big Red with back-to-back aces. And now the Big Red dance. You got Big Bird, you got Big Red.
We can see NC State with 4 aces, but they only had 2 in that first set, so 2 of them have come, and you're really only about halfway through.
And aces at different points in the set carry more weight. At this point in the set, for NC State to extend that lead, that's vital midway through.
Especially back-to-back, we talk a lot about morale, and that's just a complete morale buster, especially because NC State right now is hitting a 429 after hitting a 150 in the first set, whereas right now the Deacs are hitting a 150 after hitting a 237 in that first set.
A series that the Pack have dominated, winning 9 of the last 10. You can tell this was a resounding response for the Wolfpack. Didn't want to lose 2 straight sets. They're never afraid to have fun during a timeout.
You got to stay loose. It gets tense. We've seen a lot of panic from this team tonight. So whatever it takes to keep the blood flowing and smiles on faces is great.
Megan Wargo-Kearney, the associate head coach from Arkansas State. Such a good job anchoring this staff.
And you want to protect this serve right now. If you're NC State, you want to show that that first set was just a fluke. You want to do a sweep starting now.
It's a Pack team that's top 50 in serving in the country. They're living on that serve tonight. And back-to-back aces force the timeout for Randy Smart. Amanda Rice, the floor is yours. And that one's too long.
Point Randy Smart for calling the timeout.
It does snap a 3-0 run. Good rotation, though, for Rice in the back row.
Having Crawford up hitting a 455 and Olivia Frankie hitting a 250 in the front is going to prove to give the Pack some difficulty.
And with Farrell in, the all-conference libero. Peterson goes middle. Leoniak tips it. Can the Deacons take advantage of this plus front row? And Crawford's blocked. Good hands from Jada Allen.
That should be the 6th or 7th block of this match. Let's take another look at that big block.
Blocking the name of NC State's game. 30th in the country. They find it the right time as Farrell scoops it out. Options for Kate Peterson. Leoniak gets a tip. Ricks wins the joust. Sir Lancelot be proud of that joust effort.
It felt like Ricks was waiting for that one. See Ryan Baker sneak back in.
Layla Ricks, who's been in and out of the rotation over the last 3 weeks, but providing an option on the right side for Wake. Peterson back set. Leoniak, that's a high set, leading to a roof. Looks like Crawford got her hand on it.
The Deeks doing a really good job getting touches and blocks on her. Although she's bringing a really big swing, they're taking the heat off of their defense.
And that's a tall combo, 6'4" and 6'3" for Wake in the front. Baker goes deep. Broussard blasts. Crawford terminates, and Wake's won 3 straight.
NC State struggling to handle that pass a little bit. They're doing a good job giving it some height. When in doubt, give it some height. Let's take another look at that swing. Completely open net. Jada Allen not able to close on the middle, or on the outside from the middle.
And with Crawford in this front row rotation, how can Wake capitalize on having 3 hitters in the front?
That's one thing, again, that we talked about prior to the set, is that's why Randy is running this kind of offense, to keep those 3 hitters up there, because right now they're only hitting a 174. The offense has become really myopic, really one-dimensional. NC State seems to have a good sense of where it's going. We can look tonight and see just how balanced their attack has been. Santer with 6 kills, Crawford with 6, so on and so forth. If you're NC State, you need to be really nimble in the middle to be able to go pin to pin. But they still have notched, I will say, they still have notched 7 blocks to Wake Forest 4, so doing a great job.
And Jamie Santer, what a neat story. She had 5 kills in the conference over her last 7 matches, and then out of nowhere comes alive tonight with 6.
She absolutely has. Although her hitting percentage isn't really reflecting that, she's still doing a great job getting those kills when it matters, and sometimes that matters more than number of kills or overall hitting percentage.
An All-American in the beach season at Hawaii, takes the transition, hadn't played indoor, look at that, since 2018. And Randy Smart said, I need a winner, I need a competitor, I need a dog on my club. And Santa reached out, wanted to play indoor. Basically her lone offer to play on the indoor season has made such a big impact.
And I love seeing her arsenal. Every beach player is just so well-rounded. We see her playing all 6 rotations. Just a very consistent player.
NC State on attack with Broussard. Back corner swing, nice effort.
Bringing the absolute heat down in that area 5 corner, which really is where the block should be taking up. And we'll see libero out for NC State. So a good time maybe for Wake Forest to get a side out here.
Broussard has grown up so much in their all freshman year in 22. Now a top 10 attacker in the conference as Allen goes back row. Crawford rises, good touch by Leoniak. Murphy 1v1, wins it. Point NC State, point Wake Forest.
Leoniak just gets so high up, and she just has such quick reflexes. We always talk about your littles, your lids have quick reflexes, but she's been really scrappy up at the front.
Here's Paige Crawford in the 3-point difference. Serving long. And Wake with only its 2nd service error of the match. This was the exact spot Wake Forest was in set 1. And then closed it out 25-20. Lucas Lebay's club broke with a 4-point lead.
Not the spot you want to be in with kill leader Amanda Rice hitting a 545 for the night, just subbing in.
Bale off the net. Murphy finds the floor. Good swing from the right side of Murphy. That's her 4th.
Just a little bit of a lack of press from Sophie Groom, 6'2", middle blocker. We see a serving specialist come in for the Deeks, Kendall Phillips.
Phillips in her senior year. 56 career matches, largely in this role. Low serve, causing trouble. Brizard tipped, and a road serve specialist does it right.
Doing exactly what she needs to do, and that's something Coach Smart has talked a lot about. They burn a lot of subs for the Deke, so if you're going to go in, the juice has to be worth the squeeze.
The squeeze leads to a block from Charles. And Phillips does it again. Cabello back set. Rice puts it away. There's a squeeze. Huge swing.
Rice coming in with her 8th kill, only 1 error. Let's take another look at that big swing. And you see how far she has to run around the court to get that swing.
Jamie Santer re-enters for Wake. And here's NC State can serve out the set. Sydney Daniels from Wilmington, Delaware, a serve specialist herself. Really good serve. Murphy off hands. Here's Rice sitting on 8 kills. A better block by Charles. Santer a little behind, able to make a play. Rice from the 10. Gets a hand and finds the floor. 9 kills and taken over tonight, Haley.
And I gotta say, maybe it's because I was a libero, but Sky Stokes has such great hands. It's really fun to see her set those out-of-system balls, because when you're hand setting, it's a little bit more difficult to tell where someone's setting. If you're platform setting, everybody in the whole gym knows, but I love kind of seeing her throw the ball up. She's done a couple of counter flow sets. Really fun, and I think that new rule about not having a double, at least on the second contact, has actually really helped with that. And we can take a look here at the NC State attacks this season.
And that's just coming in. And then tonight, building on that, Rice is hitting 570, which is a bonkers number. But to have the complement of Bryant and Brizard, this offense went clicking, Hale. We've seen in this set, they're a tough team to stop.
They're only in the second set. Second set isn't even complete, and she's probably going to surpass what she did on Wednesday with 9 kills. Well, I guess she's already tied with it. We have Bryant at 10 kills on Wednesday, Rice 9 kills on Wednesday today. Rice at 9 kills, Bryant only at 2, a little quiet tonight.
Coming in right in the middle of the pack in terms of offense, literally and figuratively there. But you mentioned the setter, and so much credit. We talk about Cami Minor all the time, Rachel Fairbanks, but with this combination of Peterson and Cabello been able to do, they put the offense in good spots.
Exactly, and we're really able to see that through the numbers. Speaking of which, Wake Forest heating up a little bit, able to pull up. They got all the way down to a .091 hitting percentage, able to lift it back up to a .214 here in this second set.
Amanda Rice in this pack offense responding here in the second set. And now Sydney Daniels continues to serve. Ryan Baker back in at center. Murphy has a tip. Farrell flips. That's over. Cabello. Power swing. Dug out in the Bryant attack. Murphy touches. Rice blocked. Dior Charles can block everything.
Dior Charles has been so fantastic at the net tonight. We're going to take another look at that block with one arm, just a wing and a prayer, if you will, for her 4th block of the night. 5th, excuse me.
That's 2.5 blocks to set. The nation's leaders at 1.5 coming in. Just some insane numbers for Charles, the LA native. Cabello goes back to Rice. And that one sneaks through the hands of Santer. NC State, 2 points in the set.
That's the worst feeling as a blocker. Again, I wouldn't know, but blocking and turning around and not being able to locate the ball happens more often than you think.
The Pack have 15 kills in this set, putting a lot of points away. And here's Stokes. Testing Farrell. Little confusion. And Charles flips it. That's in. Courtney Bryant. Set point.
Stokes looking big behind the service line. And it's tough. Big swing, sharp. It's been tough for the Deacons, though. Kalani Willick had 55% of her passes were perfect on Wednesday against the Pack. She led.
3 weeks of the regular season, and NC State needs every win they can get come tournament time. Wake Forest wants to get back to 500 in the league. As Amanda Rice starts set 3, missing wide. Point Wake Forest.
Maybe trying to be a little bit too perfect on that 9. We know just how good Emma Farrell is on defense.
That blocking of Franking and Charles have caused some problems for State tonight. Baker goes back row. Brizard off hands, and she elects to save it. Thought that would stay in, and a point for Wake.
And I want you to watch, Evan, where Rice goes here in serve receive and how far she has to run to get those kills. She has to go all the way from left back to the 9.
Watch 17. Circle around. Brizard touches. Crawford hits the take, not a player, so point NC State.
So you can see why NC State maybe starts in that rotation, because they want to get out of it quickly. It's really kind of an awkward run, but she's athletic enough to do it.
And with the lefty 2-year-1 on that court dominant side to open up a ton of angles. There's Daniels float serving it in. Baker goes to Crawford. Nice save from Stokes. And Farrell has to punch that out.
I gotta say, it's my libero coming out, but I love a back set from halfway across the court diagonally to the outside from Stokes. Completely electric.
Stokes and Cabello have been nice anchors for Lucas LeBay tonight. As that serve goes long, a service error for the Pack. 6 errors for NC State. And now Paige Crawford, who herself's in the top 10 in aces in the ACC. 38 aces for Paige. Another kill for NC State. That's Courtney Bryant heating up.
Emma Farrell able to get a lot of touches. Not quite getting them up here in this competitive third set.
Already 8 digs for Farrell. Not many balls get past her. 2-time All-ACC. We have 2 elite liberos tonight with Stokes now on serve. Murphy blocked out. Point Olivia Murphy, and tooling the block. That's been a new weapon for Wake Forest tonight.
It's nice when you're playing a team who's really tall, because they get really high. Sometimes you can get lucky kind of getting that inside arm or high hands off the block.
This is Rice. Crawford attempts, can't get there. And back and forth we go early in set 3.
A lot of great point-for-point volleyball. And we see Amanda Rice rotate back now. So this is really the time for the Deeks to rack up their points.
Baker has to run after it. Roll shot, Santer. That stays in. Nice swing from Jada Allen, the Fishers, Indiana native.
First slide I've seen from NC State. And now that they've seen it work, they'll probably run this a few more times, but Cabello just has really great connection with her middles.
Allen typically a block specialist, and there it is. Jada Allen combining with her setter.
It's gonna be the 8th block for NC State. They're putting them some high blocking numbers tonight.
Allen's now 3 blocks from 400 in her Pack career. Really good hands. Back in the middle, Charles beats the block. Kept up and over. Murphy. Rice again saves it. the hands. Defense leads to Bryant.
Incredible defensive effort from the pack, and that's going to cause a timeout for the Deeks, probably wanting to end that momentum. We'll see you back here in Reynolds Gym shortly.
Swiffer Duster traps 4 times more dust for a clean even Mom approves of.
That reach.
Making hard to reach not hard at all.
So easy. I taught him that.
And with Swiffer Sweeper Dry, you can trap and lock 2 times more dirt, dust, and hair.
Nice.
Brooms can just push stuff around, but Swiffer grabs dirt and even traps the hair. Swiffer.
Impressive.
The mother of all cleans. Love it or your money back.
Welcome back here in the ACC. 3-point lead for NC State early. A Wolfpack club. Good balance offensively after dropping set 1. And Haley, how about the effort of Amanda Rice defensively?
I love these plays from NC State. This is what boosts morale. This is what gets your momentum going for the entirety of the match. Which is, again, why Coach Randy Smart immediately called that timeout. You want to stop those good feelings, and I think my favorite part was seeing Coach LeBay get so excited for his team, he almost ran onto the court himself.
That double fist pump is signature there at NC State. So Wake out of the timeout. Santer goes back row. Here's Bryant. Tools the block again. Just beats Charles.
Santer caught standing a little bit. It's easy on that off blocker defense to get caught looking.
And to State's credit, Haley, Lucas LeBay noted this in the timeout. They've done a better job of hitting off hands as well.
They absolutely have, and that's going to cause a substitute. Maruska comes in for the Deeks, who's kind of been the staple outside for the majority of the year along with Crawford.
Sahara Maruska, 2.5 kills a set. The Rice transfer watches a campfire ace. This is Amanda's Rice world. We're just lucky to be living in it tonight.
She's been all over. 6 digs, 3 blocks, 11 kills.
And a right side player, not even a primary hitter.
3 aces, 1 assist.
Almost a 4th ace, then Charles swings. Here's Rice. And Charles' hands so active. That goes long, ending a 6-0 run for the Pack.
Slave asking for a touch on that. He will grab his green card, so it looks like we're going to see a challenge here. 1 of 2 that they get, with an additional 1 in the 5th set.
Especially riding a 6-0 run. I like that challenge from Slave. Because you win it, and all of a sudden the momentum's right back on your side.
Exactly, and the hustle from the Pack has been really unmatched this set. Currently hitting a 273, and that really comes down to the serve receive being really sharp and the defense being able to dig to transition to swing.
First chance for Wayne Clark, our referee, to look at this.
Oh.
Does that get any bit of Murphy there in the beginning?
Maybe off Dior Charles's right hand. The Wake Forest block, head over the net. Hard to tell from that angle, and as a reminder, the down ref has several more angles than we have. So they're gonna have a pretty definitive call, but things we look for is finger movement, trajectory of the ball changing, things like that. Maybe sometimes some guilty faces.
No one's ever gonna look innocent, right? You can't pull off the innocent look. So who looks less guilty?
Yeah, your immediate reaction. Let's take a look here. It looks like it's over the block.
Now remember, there was a huge call at the end of set 3 when these teams met in Raleigh. That allowed State to eventually win the 3rd set. They overturned the call.
That 25-27 tight match. And that same line judge is here tonight that made that other tight call on Wednesday.
What do you got for us, Wayne?
I see lots of head nodding, some thumbs up.
I see a baby.
He's checking with everybody except us.
Okay, Wayne, waiting for you, buddy. Ball stands.
And that's a great break for the Demon Deacons as Becca Bellows comes in.
Remember, just one challenge left. You do win it and keep it if you're NC State, so you have some options. And if the match goes 5, a bonus challenge granted. I'm not a body language expert, but to me that's not clear evidence of one way or the other. So sticking with the call on the court.
Sticking with the call.
Can you hear me now? The old T-Mobile commercials. So Becca Bellows in to serve. Here's Leoniak. The blast one past Crawford. Remember, Martina Leoniak, only 7 kills entering tonight all season. What a nice performance.
And that's her 3rd. She might be able to tie it here in this match. She's been battling some injury, but looking really strong tonight.
Courtney Bryan in this pack team. 5 aces. Ruska on receive. Ruska again, roll shot. That's been the challenge for Sahara, finding more power. Leoniak touches Maruska. Broussard off hands. Great defense from the Deeks. Another block. Dior Charles is living at the net.
I definitely would not want to be hitting against Dior Charles right now. She just does such a good job getting up, closing, and really pressing her hands down. We talk a lot in blocking. It's not about how high you're getting. It's about how well you're doing with pressing over the net.
Over 100 solo blocks this year for Charles. Really good hands. Tries it again. That shot above. Crawford. Duncan State adjusted his quality block. That time Yatula hits the antenna and a point NC State.
That's the pros and the cons of having some big blocks. You're going to get tooled a couple of times.
Dior Charles, who had 7 blocks in a nice match at Florida State. Wakefield lost in 3. Tonight we're in set 3. It could be 4. And a serve into the net. We need a Lucas Slabay cam, because even on service errors, he leans back, he's expressionate. A man of few emotions most of the time. He brings him out when he needs to.
I want him to be mic'd up. Although, depending what language he's speaking, sometimes we might not know exactly what he's saying.
I got captions for you. As that serve goes long, much happier with Slabay there. Former U.S. national coach. He's done a nice job refurbishing this NC State program. Had losing records before he stepped on campus, and now last 2 years, 22 wins, 18 wins, a chance for a tournament berth this year. Frankie insistent with the cheerleaders, which is interesting here in volleyball. I do love having cheerleaders in varsity arena, making noise all night. Cleared by Stokes. Frankie off hands beats Groom in the middle. Something about those super seniors late in their careers.
Something about those super seniors, and one thing I love about this particular super senior, she does a great job kind of hiding where she's going to hit. You're not sure if it's going to go line or if she's going to pull it cross. You just never know.
So a 4-point NC State lead. Baker fires it at Stokes. Broussard blasts one long with no touch. So Broussard getting herself a little bit of trouble. 5 hitting errors tonight.
Definitely starting to rack up those unforced errors. She might be getting a little bit frustrated with just how dominant that Wake Forest block has been tonight. It makes you feel like you have to be perfect and you have to hit so hard to get past it.
Another chance for Broussard. Groom down the middle, touches back line. And that's how you open up spots for pin hitters.
That's exactly right. This is a good serve-receive rotation for the Demon Deacons. Let's take a look. Beautiful placement on that swing. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. That should be the block.
Farrell returns this serve. And Crawford beats another double block. Paige Crawford the last 2 weeks has gone from a 3-rotation player to back in all 6, and her offense is stepping up because of it.
And going in tonight, we were talking about she's about, what, 25-ish kills away from hitting her 1,000th career kill. So she's been dominant in all of her time here for the Deeks.
Really good serve from Crawford. This is Bryant through the double and beats Emma Farrell. Nice point for Courtney Bryant. That's her 9th.
It's tough for Emma Farrell, too, because if NC State's able to hit past that block, as a defender, you're lined up in the hole of the block. So if they're able to hit it through, you're not even able to see your hitter.
Stokes serves it long.
Good lead by the Deeks.
How difficult is that reading those balls on the back line?
It's nerve-wracking more than anything, because you know if it hits the back line, you feel coach's eyes just burning a hole through you.
Instead, Randy Smart's seal of approval on the service error.
No serving specialist this time.
Cabello goes to Bryant. That's long. And 4 hitting errors for Courtney Bryant. Rice has been excellent from the right side. Finding that secondary pin hitter, though, is a big question for Lucas LeBay tonight. Here's Rice. That's been the answer all night. It's Rice's world.
That's a tough ball for Olivia Frankie, being a middle just backed because you have to serve. Let's take another look at that swing. Beautiful ball. She really wasn't given that much line.
Rice serves it long. She's 1 ace shy of her career best. And we're back to a 2-point difference.
Back-to-back missed serves for the Pack, making it exceedingly difficult for themselves. And now you have Ricks and Charles up, and they're really dynamic together on the block. And Charles right now already has her career best number of blocks. Last time she had this many blocks was 4 in 2023 against Toledo.
So Kate Peterson subs in to run this offense. Redshirt freshman. Peterson goes middle. Good start. Jada Allen the point.
Jada Allen hasn't had a lot of attempts. That's only her 7th time being set here in this match. But even if she's not getting a kill, even just by getting set, that helps diversify that offense and makes Dior Charles think twice before just leaving to block the outside.
Off the tape and a service there. It's a Wolfpack team among the bottom 5 in the league of playing through their middles. They live so much on the pins, and any impact from Allen and company will be huge tonight. Here's Maruska. Testing Stokes. Brizard blasts it.
Ooh, I saw that out.
And will Randy Smart challenge this? I don't think so.
Sometimes it's not worth it if you're uncertain, and that'll leave the Pack without a libero as their middle. Jada Allen goes back to
by the crew. So NC State catches a break. Here's Allen. Crawford. What a save by Leoniak. Bellows back set. Now the Pack can swing. Brizard blasts into the block. That's in. Bellows. Crawford long. Oh. Good defense, NC State.
NC State has really been the scrappier team tonight. Such quick reaction times on those scrappy little defensive plays. Let's take a look. Off the block. A little hook shot, leading Crawford to have that swing just wide.
Ricks, trouble, good effort Bryant, and Allen flips it. Crawford beats the block that time. Wake Forest.
One thing I've really loved about the offensive game with the Deeks tonight is not a lot of tipping. The last rally we saw a little bit of tipping, but they've been really strong offensively, which opens up those tip shots later in the game when the opponent isn't expecting them.
Crawford, a Wake Forest high 8 kills as Farrell serves. Leoniak returns and detonates. Nice back set to open that play.
Deke seeming a little surprised by that one.
Leoniak's feeling herself, battling back from injury. And coming into the conference tonight, only had 6 kills. That's a dynamic performance, getting everybody involved with the high fives. Four service errors this set for NC State. That's kept Wake in the match.
And all pretty close together, all within the last 5 or 6 points. That's really tough. And we'll see Ryan Baker back in. Setter for the Demon Deacons, who's a little more seasoned with her middles, has a little bit of a better connection. So we might be seeing a little bit more offensive production in the middle.
Here's Ryan Baker. Testing Stokes, and an ace. Wake Forest. 4 aces.
You might see an ace. I know 4 missed serves for the Pack, 4 aces for the Deeks, and that'll be a timeout.
And yet, losing that special teams battle, if you will, NC State's still up 2 points.
NC State overall just doing a really great job offensively. Although they didn't ball handle really well right there, they have been doing a great job in reception. They're hitting a 266 and 048. And that's why I always like to look at the stats too, because sometimes you might feel like, oh, it's the serve receive or it's
Wednesday, straight set win for the Pack, wrapping up a rare Saturday matchup.
Wednesday's match, their third set was 25-27, obviously with State as the sweeping victor. A little bit of a different story tonight with the Deeks taking on that first set.
Who do you think needs this set more, State or Wake Forest?
I'm going to say State because they're on the bubble. They now have seen that the Deacons have the ability to take a set off them. And Wake has nothing to lose. They're not going to make it to the NCAA tournament. They're fighting for pride. They're fighting to have a complete match.
We've seen year in, year out teams ruin teams' bubble opportunities in matches like this. Actually happened to Wake Forest on this court last year against UNC right around this time. Reverse sweep for the Tar Heels, and Wake lost 5 of their last 6 to miss the tournament. Now a 2-point game in set 3, and there's an ace. Ryan Baker coming alive.
Giving you an ace when you need one. Wake Forest slowly but surely crawling back into this game here in the third set.
Had 9 combined aces.
Oh.
Bryant keeps that one up. Brizard misses long. Back-to-back mistakes for NC State.
Brizard missing a lot of those swings long. It looks like she might be overrunning the ball a little bit. Looks like NC State has slowed down the tempo of the set.
A much different performance than we saw Wednesday night. And now NC State gets the lead. That snaps a 4-0 run.
I think everybody over on the left side of the court for us took a big, deep breath when that serve was missed.
It's like a color rush night in the NFL. Lots of gold, lots of red.
Lots of red.
In this Big 4 rivalry. Baker to Crawford. Nice hands from Rice. Murphy off hands and a kill.
Murphy getting back into this set. I know we've talked a lot about players getting kills when it matters.
Murphy has 6. Rice has led the show with 12. And now a tie matchup in set 3. Long run, Cabello. Bryant into Farrell. Nice touch from Groom. Murphy blocked over. Baker the save. Here's Rice into the roof. Maruska.
Maruska really coming in this third set and being a role player. She's only been set once, but her serve receive has been nails, and she's making big plays when it matters. And mind you, Maruska only stands at 5'8". Amazing play against the 6'1" Amanda Rice.
Maruska had effectively been benched. The last 3 matches only came in rotational moments. What a big third set here for Maruska.
You're exactly right. And if you're Maruska, you're kind of accepting your role as it is and wanting to push the boundaries.
It's a Wake Forest team that has struggled at home in the last month, but showing great resolve tonight.
Giving us some fun Saturday volleyball.
Have 2 road wins over Notre Dame and Clemson, and then a home win versus Syracuse, but otherwise looking to wipe the slate after a 2-1 start in the league. NC State, meanwhile, has been elite at home, but struggling on the road in the conference. And after getting swept by Miami, losing at 4 to Florida State, in danger of losing a 4th straight road contest.
You can feel the entire emotion and energy of the NC State bench has really changed. We saw a lot of dancing and a lot of fun there in that second set. And it still felt really loose in this third set until that little run with Ryan Baker. 2 aces, almost back-to-back, really pulling the Deacs by their bootstraps back into this match.
A 7-2 run has flipped the script, and that expression tells the story if you're NC State. A stressful third set.
And they only have Rice up in the front row for, it looks like, 1 more rotation.
Paige Crawford in to serve, up 1. A rocket to Daniels. Rice wins it 1v1. 13 for Rice.
Rice leading the entire court with kills, and now she'll have 1 rotation left here in the front row. So it's going to be interesting to see if she can be a role player in the back.
Rice playing 4 corners, hitting every spot with her shot tonight. Wake now on receive. Maruska tipped. Farrell saves. At the over.
And they call the double.
So double touches to your own team are a lot more allowed, but this year there is some rule changes on how that can be called. So Randy Smart calls a timeout.
You can see Randy not happy about great serve receive lineup here. You always want your libero in the middle if you can help it. Serve probably going to Maruska here on the pin.
Here's Sky Stokes testing Crawford for the ace.
And it works. Maruska's serve receive has been really solid tonight. They might have to end up pushing Crawford a little bit, giving her a little bit of a smaller sliver, it looks like.
Leaving the court wide open now for Stokes. Short into the net. And Randy Smart made a tactical lineup change before that serve. It might have forced Stokes to go short.
And we see the serving specialist, Kendall Phillips, come in. Really did a great job at the end of that second set with her serve.
Phillips, the Virginia Beach product, getting a critical serve rotation. NC State up 1. Allen sets it. Bryant tips. Loose ball. Point Wake.
And that's going to tie us up here. You can feel it.
Randy Smart pushing all the right buttons late in set 3. Leaning on Kendall Phillips off the bench. A floater. Rice tipped. Baker finds Murphy. Daniels there. Bryant into Phillips. To the roof. Maruska rolls. Rice misses long, set point.
Only her 5th error of this match in a really unfortunate time. But the Wake Forest block is really in her face. She just really doesn't have the capacity with that kind of set.
Reynolds rocking on set point. Long run, Cabello. Bryant. Rice tipped. Charles everywhere. Behind. And a double touch. Wake Forest wins set 3.
And we have ourselves a ball.
And Duke, they could salvage a rivalry meeting here tonight. Our lone Saturday game in the ACC. Cabello serves up, set 4, and we're underway. This is Crawford. Well, a quick start, 1 swing, 1 kill.
Easy peasy, just like they drew it up, I'm sure.
9 kills for Crawford, is at double figures 12 different times this year.
She's been such a dominant force for the Demon Deacons, especially with having transfers and graduated seniors. She's really stepped up.
There's Broussard on the touch. That falls in. Nice tip drill. So 9 kills for Broussard.
I think that's the first true tip that has fallen tonight, which really just shows how many hard swings. This has been a huge battle of strong arms tonight.
Both teams averaging 35 swings a set. Not many balls touching the floor tonight. And there's only a 2-point difference in the entire score. Wake Forest salvaging set 3. Bryant off hands. Crawford into the seats. Farrell keeps it alive. Nice defense. Cabello tries it again and in. Powerful kill for Bryant. And the result there of State, you see a great dig, but then to put a ball away quickly.
Exactly. You kind of have to stay on your P's and Q's. It's easy to start celebrating, but if there's anything about either of these teams, you have to wait until that whistle blows.
Wake has been extra scrappy tonight for Randy Smart, but NC State's found ways to terminate. Look at Daniels sacrificing the body. Off the tape, Crawford does the same. Back to Maruska, roll shot. There's Rice. How did she do that?
That's kind of been my question all night too, I think. Let's take another look here. Oh, Frankie not even going up. On a one-on-one situation, the hitter should always get the kill.
NC State, though, has given away 13 points tonight, 13 service errors. And that's 2-1 in the negative for Lucas Slabay.
It's tough. It's a balance. You want to serve really aggressive. You don't want to give Wake Forest free balls on the serve, but you also have to get them in.
One ace deserves another. One error, pardon me. Remember, NC State was 3rd in the conference in serving coming in. That's been the bugaboo for the Pack tonight. Uncharacteristic. It's certainly 2 different types of gyms you serve in, from Reynolds Coliseum to Reynolds Gym.
And the ball moves different in the Coliseum.
How about this? It's an error special.
Back to back to back to back. Maybe getting out those 4th set nerves.
I'm not a betting man, but it's probably plus 200 for another error here. As always, gamble responsibly. So Becca Bellows in a serve. Let's see what she can do. Okay, good news. It's an ace.
It's an ace.
No error.
Not a whole lot of volleyball being played.
We're getting both ends of the spectrum tonight.
It's kind of a serve and pass clinic right now.
Well, this is Vegas when you go to the slot machine. You're just pulling for good luck. Finally.
Let's see, will we get a rally?
Bellows. Ball in play. Allen, one touch, one kill. This is quick volleyball in the set.
Again, the second tip I've seen tonight. Batting 1,000 on the tips, but like we talked about, you want to establish your swing so that the defense is on their heels, and then you want to tip to get on your toes.
And Farrell to the floor. So Wake will clear this. Cabello. Good hands from Charles, who has 5 blocks tonight, actually 6. And Maruska misses long, but gets a touch.
We'll see
They hit Allen late.
if Slave wants to make a challenge on that, but it doesn't seem like it. That'll be Maruska's first kill tonight. No error. Hitting 0. I do think there's a little touch.
Yeah, those fingers.
Maybe a little pinky.
Cabello quickly got a hand on it. So Maruska in the serve. Real tight. Peterson finds Allen. Here's Crawford. Nearing 10 kills. Off Charles' noggin, but she touched the net. Such an explosive jumper. I think if you're very smart, you live with one mistake. When you block 6.
Yeah, if you're getting your face over the net and you occasionally have a hair touch the net, I think that's a fair trade-off.
Charles top 10 in blocks in this league. She's so impressive at the net.
She might even be higher after tonight.
Then puts the offense to work. Quick kill, Charles. It's interesting you go from such a stressful end of set 3, and these first 12, 13 points have been back and forth.
Kind of slow, yeah.
Like the drama builds over time. Did you ever notice that as a player?
Oh, yeah. The feeling after, like, point 17, that's where you really start to feel the intensity build.
The tip is scooped up by Bellows. We're in this tight Big Four rivalry. State's won 9 of the 10 previous meetings. And Leoniak is dug out. Crawford turns her hand. Joust won by the pack.
I think it's interesting, Leone blocking such hard line. The pack is really giving super hard cross to Crawford, which is one of her best kill shots.
Now hold on, Randy might challenge this. So it's interesting here, when the R1 signal's ready for play, that would end the time you can challenge. But then the R2 is granting the opportunity to chat with this. So that's Wayne Clark talking to Randy.
So it looks like no challenge will be taken.
So once you hear that whistle, you can no longer challenge, just to clarify.
No going back. Point of no return.
If only that worked with toddlers. Maruska shuffles it. Crawford, nice save, into the Wake bench. Peterson middle, and Groom, the insistent kill.
Uncharacteristic pass from Maruska. She's been really passing nails tonight, which has helped the Deacons get in a little bit of a better offensive rhythm.
Not to poke holes in your expression, but when you say passing nails, I think of like pointy, sharp things.
That's valid. That's valid. Passing nails is like hitting the target every time. She's just nailing it.
I like it. Thanks for the wisdom tonight, Haley. Haley Brook-Weiss. I'm Evan Budrovich.
Middle setting.
Middle set goes out. Leoniak misses hands. We've had 4 service errors and 3 hitting errors in this set.
It's the 4th set of errors here, which typically, like you mentioned, get cleaned up as the intensity of the match continues. It's like if the other team makes a mistake, you feel like you have a little bit of liberty, a little bit of wiggle room, because it's so early in the match.
There's Ryan Baker back in to serve it up. State has struggled on serve receive tonight.
What a set.
That was Peterson all the way across the court, and Murphy blasts one in. Passing nails on that set to tee her up.
The just have not been able to really find the floor here in this fourth set. And if they're not careful, this might be the final set tonight.
NC State can ill afford a loss this late in the year. That was really close. Lucas LeBay, very confident on that serve error.
I love seeing Daniels get so passionate on the bench, pumping her team up, especially as a player who's made such an impact as a defensive specialist.
Daniels actually shined when Elon played NC State in the opening tournament. She averaged double-figure digs. Kind of led to that relationship that brought her in the portal for a second year. Crawford. Makes you wonder, Haley, back to your days at Wake, if any program ever watched you shine and got you the next year. As Crawford with the block.
I'd like to think so. And we'll see Crawford go back to serve. Let's take a look at that big block from Crawford. All left hand, lefty versus lefty on that.
That's 3 blocks a set for Wake Forest. Remember, the nation's leader is just over 3.5. Louisville has come in and been electric with Elena Scott and crew as that serve goes long.
State, obviously the Deacs are doing a great job at the net, but the look-back also have been hitting really low and hard. They've started to dish out these really high pin balls, and the outsides are just waiting a long time to take a swing.
Been a really physical match at the net. Hard for hitters to find their rhythm. As Farrell dives to the floor. Rice off the net. Frankie takes a swing. Bryant splits 3, finds the floor. Great touch.
The pack starting to pull away a little bit, but I'm seeing right now they want to feed Rice so bad. They want to give her the ball so bad that they're getting some misconnection issues, which is making her a lot less efficient.
Deep serve for Daniels. The State has 3 players with 30 swings. That ball's ruled in, point Wake Forest on the tip. Deacons, meanwhile, no with more than 25 attacks. A little more balance in terms of approach.
Much more balanced, and we can see that that's causing a lot of problems for the defense on the pack.
Crawford misses serve. 8 service errors for Wake, 14 for State, which shows you how tight it is to score tonight. Both teams being aggressive.
Emma Farrell coming back in. Not your favorite lineup if you're a libero, having both outsides on the biggest chunk of the court.
That's a lot of court to cover for Farrell. And she watches an ace. Sky Stokes.
We always said we're okay with aces that hit the back line. If somebody can hit the back line and thread that needle, let them have it. But that's why you should follow that ball all the way to the line.
Sky Stokes, the West Virginia transfer, now in her 50th match at NC State. Puts a good one there. Murphy through the double. Rice for a lefty. What a challenging shot. And Farrell into the net. I mean, Amanda Rice has to backpedal, readjust, and turn her shoulder in live time. Such a difficult swing, and we'll take the timeout. NC State wants to put...
Whopper, Whopper, what's that Whopper? You created these showstoppers, crunchy, saucy, tangy toppers. I'm getting hungry.
Introducing the Mexican Street Corn Whopper. Crunchy, spicy. The Maple Bourbon Barbecue Whopper. Sweet, saucy. And the Fried Pickle Ranch Whopper. Crispy, tangy. But the real question is, do they top the OG? Guess you'll have to come in to find out.
BK, have it your way.
Welcome back to Winston-Salem, where Amanda Rice has shined this week for NC State in the win Wednesday. She was fantastic. 9 kills in a 3-set performance. Tonight, Haley, a lot more swings for Amanda, but finding ways to score all over the court.
She's looking to potentially double that for sure. I think one thing that we've noticed is NC State has started to force the set to her, especially at the end of that 3rd set. She's really been that bailout option who can get kills, but because they're trying to force it so hard, it's not always the perfect situation to be giving her a set. So we've seen some weirdly timed shots. We've seen a little bit of some oddities going on.
3-0 scoring run for the pack, and Sky Stokes back in to serve. Here's Murphy, who is back healthy, battling a knee injury, in and out this year. Rice again, right on cue, 15 kills.
And I'd say that's about the right time to set her, so she might be on track to double her performance from Wednesday in this extended match.
Amanda Rice now 25 kills from 1,000 in her career at NC State, 3.5%. Stokes goes long to Maruska. Sahara with a tight angle lefty. Bryant into the roof. Dior Charles has 7 blocks.
She's about to also double her career number of blocks. She's just doing such a fantastic job reading and closing that block every time. It's really a libero's dream.
Olivia Murphy also gets some credit on that one. Good hands from the Demon Deacons. Cabello, difficult set. And that lands in. Now, in yesterday, that would have been a double touch, but this year, new offensive mindset, and it works.
New offensive mindset works.
Yeah, the rule change has adopted that double touch on an offensive set. That is legal. We have seen tonight, though, a couple of double touches going over the net. That is not legal. So Maruska, did someone hit the net there? I guess it was after.
I guess it was ball. Kind of a funky swing. Only Maruska's second kill of the night. She's done a lot of tipping, a lot of rolling. I think her primary role tonight really is to offer some solace in serve, receive, and defense. And she's done just that.
4-point difference here in set 4. Peterson middle. That's long for Jada Allen. And we haven't seen the pack find their middles a ton tonight.
Definitely have not found the middles, which has made it much easier for the Demon Deacons to kind of set up camp on their outsides.
It's led to a .216 hit percentage for the pack, who hit that exact number on Wednesday in a 3-set sweep. Maruska saves it. Crawford, nice dig from Daniels. Leoniak, back corner long. Wakewood in 2.
Her first tip of the night. It looks like the pack kind of want to have a review, but that ball was clearly out. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to get.
There's one challenge left for State, and both coaches are chatting with our R2, Wayne Clark.
A lot of arm waving, a lot of frustrated, animated movements going on the sideline. We have all 3 coaches up.
Luke is asking about a net touch for Wake with an arm coming forward.
And Wake has had a lot of arm touches today.
So he's going to use the challenge here.
He really flipped that card up.
This would be the final challenge if State loses this call. And Lucas LeBay, he is animated. He
Still talking, and now talking to R1, which only your speaking captain can talk to the R1. So you can see her having a little bit of frustration as he's still talking to her.
That's Chanel Davis up top.
You can see them still chatting. We'll probably take a look here shortly as a reminder. 2 challenges per match. And then if this does go to a 5th set, which very well could, both teams will get an additional challenge for that extended time. So if you're NC State, you're planning your game plan, whether or not you win this challenge, it's going to make a difference. 17-14 versus 15-16 is a huge, huge swing of that pendulum.
Especially for NC State, who struggled late in set 3 putting that away. Now we get the final ruling here from Wayne Clark.
Not sure if he's seeing what the pack was hoping he would see.
The call stands. So State is out of challenges unless this goes 5.
We're going to take a look and see if there was a net violation here.
Luke is asking about the arms here of Wake Forest.
We'll take a look. So far, so good. Nothing at the top. Obviously, we couldn't see the full bottom, but there wasn't really a lot of net movement to indicate that there might have been a touch. And we'll look at this play here with the tip from Ricks.
Big rally for NC State. Farrell to the floor. Crawford. Pack need this point. Leoniak into Farrell like a magnet. Crawford beats the libero. Nice swing, 10 kills.
And that's a big point for Wake Forest. We always say ball doesn't lie after a kind of indecisive point. Big swing on Daniels, who's been really solid tonight as a defensive specialist.
Lucas LeBay burning a timeout. And Wake has flipped the script here, Haley, on this 4-0 run.
Wake Forest will not go down without a fight. And all of the pressure really is on NC State, both in a granular and a bird's eye view perspective. Let's take a look at Wake Forest blocking, which has really neutralized the Pack's offense here. Dior Charles having a career night
12
up
total
at the net.
blocks for the Beacons, just incredible.
That's definitely starting to get close to record-breaking. I love seeing Dior Charles go up and get one just off the arm. Even Maruska getting in on the action.
It's the most blocks for Wake since the Syracuse win back on November 3rd. They had 16 blocks that night. Certainly gives you a taste of what it'll take for Wake to win a match. They got to be dominant at the net, and they're doing it with Charles 7 and a bunch of help everywhere else.
If you're Wake Forest, you really just want to keep your foot on the gas. Keep serving tough. Neutralize that Pack offense, nipping it in the bud off of that pass so your defenders can set up that block and do exactly what they've been doing.
This is a chance for Wake's second quad 2 win or a top 50 victory. NC State in the 40s in the RPI can ill afford a loss like this late in the year.
And this is a tough rotation for NC State to be in this critical part of the game. You don't have Amanda Rice in the front, who's been really a secure source of offensive production, and that'll be a missed serve.
The timeout works wonderfully for Lucas LeBay.
We say that's point coach when that happens. You kind of look at coach and give him a little nod.
Amanda Rice getting stretched out by the training staff over there. So Rice hasn't come in the last 5-6 points. Can State find offense without her? This is Crawford. Roll shot. Leoniak tipped again. Back row to Farrell.
Ooh.
Crawford. Allen tried to save it, and that cost NC State.
Crawford being really smart with those off-speed tips. I love when I see any hitter, but especially an outside hitter, utilizing the tips as an offensive weapon as opposed to a bailout because they felt like they had to tip.
And there's Amanda Rice, who's working her way back. We haven't seen her in 6 or 7 points. That ankle giving Rice trouble. Good save by Bellows. Here's Crawford. Nice swing. Paige Crawford, a huge force set.
Almost sending Sky Stokes into the splits. Let's take another look at that big kill off of Emma Farrell. Crawford just has such a great thumb down shot that's really hard to defend.
Crawford has turned the tide in this 4th set. Peterson leaves it off to Leoniak.
Leoniak turning into a setter here.
Brizard's blocked out. Point NC State. Really good hands though by Ricks at the net. Randy Smart's club blocking 12 shots. You'll live with some that are just out.
A middle serving for the Pack right now is a tough spot to be in at this point in the game.
Maruska saves it. Nice effort. And that's down. Paige Crawford, 5 kills in the set.
It feels like nothing is going the Pack's way right now. The challenge is those long, extended rallies that they were able to score on earlier, those little touches off the block. They just really need to tighten up those bolts and go back to playing serve and pass volleyball.
Nearly a double-double for Crawford. And here's Baker. Peterson outside. Broussard blast with a tip. And the head ref overrules the line judge. Out of bounds.
But no challenges left, which must be so frustrating for the Pack to not be able to argue that. But the up ref does have the ability to overrule. Let's take a look and see.
I didn't see anything right there. So no touch. Wake up one. Groom down the middle. Equals. That's a good response, too, from NC State.
It's a great response. That's exactly what they needed, and I like seeing them take that extra moment in the huddle just to regroup. I think that shows a lot of resilience.
A rare in-system kill for a state middle tonight. And now back on serve. Amanda Rice has also re-entered the match with that sore ankle. This could be huge for NC State. Cabello. Frankie to the floor.
We saw a tough mistake by Sophie Groom, the 6'2" junior middle blocker, jumping with Ryan Baker, the back row setter, which gave a fully open net on that swing.
Where did Baker touch this? What height? Oh, wow, that's really close to an illegal back row set.
Really close. And that's why rule of thumb is never jump with a back row setter.
Cabello the dump, scooped out. Maruska, power swing. Rice back in and rolling. 16 for Amanda.
You would never know she was feeling any sort of pain, and these long extended games are really tough on the body. Let's take a look. Big seam on the block that she's able to find.
Rice's season best is 20 at Florida State, getting real close tonight. Baker outside. Bryant. Another good touch. Second ball up. Cabello to Rice. Blocked in. Great hands, Frankie.
It's a game to 4 for the Demon Deacons. You can see Slabé giving some good energy to the team. Let's see that. 13 blocks for the Demon Deacons. About to win a 5th set just in blocks.
Serve specialist Phillips back in. Trouble. That's an ace.
And she made her substitute very worth it. As we've talked about a lot tonight, you only get 15 subs per match, or excuse me, per set. And she's doing a great job utilizing those subs.
What a moment for Kendall Phillips subbing in. Had no aces all year entering tonight, and a couple in these last 2 sets.
Hey, like we've talked about, it's not always about the number. It's about when you're able to make those big plays happen. And if you're NC State, I foresee them forcing the ball to Amanda Rice. Really one of the only players hitting over 200.
Look at the deep breathing exercises here for NC State. So important. You played at the highest level to keep your composure, to stay in the match in the big moment.
I still use some deep breathing exercises. We see coaches going back to chat with the team, figuring out what they want to run in this offense. Obviously, you want to force the ball to Amanda Rice if you can, because she's just been so efficient. But at the same time, you don't want to continue to be so myopic, and you don't want to continue to force the ball to her and cause her to make a swing that's uncomfortable just for the sake of giving her the ball. You want to be really smart. Kendall Phillips has been serving a really tough ball that NC State's going to have to work. Get their shoulders behind, push it up to the setter, inside out, preferably first ball kill, because this NC State team is looking a little tired at the moment.
Wake Forest dominated set 1. Wolfpack did the same in set 2. And a come-from-behind win for the Demon Deacons in set 3 sets us up here. This is a must-win match for NC State's tournament resume. And it's on the shoulders of Kendall Phillips, the serve specialist. Daniels returns. Rice through the double, tipped. Cabello. Bryant kept up, and that's down. Nice kill for NC State.
Great defensive touch by Kendall Phillips on that. She's been so strong when she's come in, not only serving, but defensively, as opposed to having Frankie in the back row as a middle. It's nice to have someone who really plays that position, and now we'll see Farrell back in, and the defense for the Demon Deacons at full throttle.
Here's Sky Stokes. Really good serve. Over ball. Allen the point.
Almost a mistake there. That was a little nerve-wracking, like we talked about. You normally only want to go get that overpass if you know you can kill it. I think it came a little deeper than she initially thought, and that'll be a timeout for the Demon Deacons.
Both clubs have burned all the timeouts. NC State has no more challenges unless this match goes 5. The margin's really thin tonight.
And it's anybody's game. 3-point game. NC State has been a little rocky here in this 4th set.
Hayden Wagner, the assistant, helping out with some defensive alignments on service. Because basically, Haley, this point turns the whole match. You win 23-22, and you're serving with some momentum as we see State living on the 3 pillars tonight.
NC State, more cumulative kills than the Demon Deacons, but just not able to get through the Demon Deacons block. A lot of those rallies, they're getting more kills from those extended rallies. You can see Amanda Rice leading the charge and Paige Crawford leading the charge for the Deacs with that balanced attack. I love seeing different positions, not just seeing it be entirely outsides or middles. And although Dior Charles is near the bottom there at 4, her block has been so outstanding tonight. We talked, she's already had a career high at 7. If she gets one more, she doubles her career high.
Yeah, this State presence at the net has been huge tonight. Online for Defensive Player of the Week kind of honor. An award that's only been won by middles 3 times all year, including Julia Haggerty at Boston College, who could be the next middle to do it.
It's just so easy to neutralize the middle at times. If your passing is failing, you can't get the middle involved.
Sky Stokes back on serve. A service error.
That'll be point Randy Smart.
What a swing point for Wake.
And this might be some of the last subs we see for Wake Forest, as they have been going through them, especially with using the serving specialist.
It's a back row setter now in Becca Bellows. Cabello, Bryant into the hands. Rice, offense. Amanda Rice cooking 17.
Great setter-hitter connection on that ball. I think Cabello, when she goes to set the outside, a lot of those sets are drifting back, having some difficulty getting it tight enough for the outsides.
Maruska, save and a block. Cabello, the roof. Set point. Tournament resume on the line for NC State. Here's Rice, set point. It's an ace, and NC State's going 5. That's a new career high in aces for Amanda Rice. And we're going 5 sets. Wake Forest and in the league. That all depends on how it unfolds tonight. Final 5 matches and we're off for a show. Race to 15, win by 2 in the 5th. Broussard opens up scoring with a kill.
That's exactly how you want to start if you're NC State. We've talked a lot tonight about momentum, and in that 5th set that's only to 15, momentum can carry you to the finish line.
Cabello, really good serve. Crawford answers with a kill.
Crawford has also had a standout night tonight.
Crawford and the Deacons battled their ACC opener with Virginia, got reverse swept, And in that fifth set, they fell behind by a huge margin. NC State yet to play a 5-setter in conference. Crawford ace. One of the best in the ACC does it again.
Crawford just has such a difficult serve. If you're familiar with baseball, it's kind of like a knuckleball or a changeup. It just moves so much. And they have some crowding there with Amanda Rice having to run across the entire court.
Bump set for Broussard on the slide. Misses long. At what point to use the timeout here for Lucas LeBay?
I think it would be a little bit more imperative maybe to change the stack. You see Amanda Rice is right next to the serve receiver, and she has to run all the way around and back, and it's causing a bit of a traffic jam.
3-0 run on serve for Crawford. Look at Rice wheeling around. So Broussard goes off hands. Nice swing. Double figures now for Broussard.
That's the double-edged sword of having a great block. You're going to get tooled a couple of times.
Good match on the service line for Sydney Daniels. Maruska, that's picked up. Bump for Bryant. Frankie and the Deacons, 12 team blocks. Crawford plays it out of bounds, and we're even.
Whenever we play those fifth sets, you think about it incrementally. First to 5, first to 8, first to 10, first to 15.
You have to win by 2 here in the fifth. Back set, Murphy. Cabello. Bryant misses long. Second hitting error for State in the set.
Cabello dishing out a little bit of a better set to the outside, a little bit tighter to the net. But I think there's a little bit of fear surrounding that Wake Forest block that's been so good tonight.
Frankie off the tape, real tight. Rice blasts, 18 kills.
Rice has been so dominant, especially on that right side. Let's take a look. I think Dior Charles thought they were going to run a B-ball and just got stuck with the middle.
And Rice is one-on-one. She's unstoppable tonight. So Stokes blasts one long. Maruska into the block. Amanda Rice is everywhere.
And Maruska herself having a career night, notching her 1,000th career dig tonight, but just not getting a lot of offensive production. Only 2 kills, hitting an .077.
Quick swing for NC State here in the fifth. Charles misses hands, and the pack up 2.
Again, only her 3rd error of the night, but just an inopportune time because now NC State has won that first incremental battle, that first battle to 5.
It was 3-1 Wake, now 6-4 State. Maruska plays it. Kept up Cabello. Rice into the net and out. Point Wake Forest.
I actually didn't think it was touched. I thought she just hit it into the net.
Well, the way Wake was tracking that ball, I don't think they were sure either. Better safe than sorry here in the fifth.
Exactly. All about playing to the whistle, especially with these 2 teams as scrappy as they are.
State's won 9 of the last 10 meetings, but you couldn't tell by tonight. We're separated by 1 total point, all sets. Back outside, Maruska into the block. Maruska, deep corner. Bryant, tip, Charles, bellows, out of bounds.
Ooh, that was a close call.
Wow, Lucas LeBay even's like, hey, be careful there on the back line.
That made me a little nervous. That's one of those ones that hits you on the toe.
And the pack take advantage up to Amanda Rice, a career high in aces. Back to serve. Charles off the net.
NC State thinking that's 4, not happy about that call.
Maruska, good touch. That's down.
And that might be a challenge. We see coaches chatting with each other, but shaking their heads.
That's a hard challenge to win, though, that's for sure.
That's a hard challenge to win.
It was a huge challenge in the third set on Wednesday that allowed State to win in 3. Lucas Slave 0 for 2 in challenges, but gets a bonus challenge here in the 5th. And here's Maruska. Peterson in at center. Allen dug out. Crawford. State out of system, dug out. Crawford through the double and wide. 2-point lead.
And Crawford has just been so efficient tonight. I think you're really starting to see some of the frustration come in, and you have to play the long game, even in these short games, of knowing those rallies are going to be extended. You don't have to be so perfect to get a kill.
And we'll take the timeout to switch sides here in the 5th. 8-6. A race to 15 continues when we come back.
As your host, I have some rules. 2 flush maximum per bathroom visit. No games, no fun. There's a great barbecue outside, but don't touch that.
Meanwhile, at a Vrbo, when other vacation rentals make you share your turf with a host, try one that's all yours.
Whopper, Whopper, what's that Whopper? You created these showstoppers, crunchy, saucy, tangy toppers. I'm getting hungry.
Introducing the Mexican Street Corn Whopper. Crunchy, spicy. The Maple Bourbon Barbecue Whopper. Sweet, saucy. And the Fried Pickle Ranch Whopper. Crispy, tangy. But the real question is, do they top the OG? Guess you'll have to come in to find out.
BK, have it your way.
Mmm, savory, juicy, and hold up. It's got Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning? Nice. Crispy, zesty, ranchy perfection. Hidden Valley Ranch, only serious about flavor.
A 3-headed monster, a little snap, crackle, and pop tonight with Amanda Rice leading the charge, 2 kills shy of her career best. And Haley, these have been the weapons allowing State to push this match to 5.
NC State has been so even tonight with Wake Forest, aside from Amanda Rice's breakout with 18 kills on those 37 attempts. And again, she's not feeling her best. You see her on the sideline. She'll be messing with her shoulder, stretching out her leg, touching on her ankle. Definitely some aches and pains here in this extended match.
That ankle's been giving her trouble all night. You see her stretching out. Imagine playing through that in an elimination match. If State loses this match, they could still make the tournament, but it's going to take a Herculean run. So Courtney Bryant to serve. Bellows in at center. Crawford with an overball and a block. Maybe a kill even for Charles.
And they're trying to call Charles over the plane, which I actually thought she was over the plane as well, because you can't cross the plane until it's the 3rd contact. And that was the 2nd contact, but he's not going to challenge it. He only has 1, and they're still up by 1.
Chanel Davis leading the call as is, and what a serve. Broussard into the corner. Crawford touch. Down to the floor and Wake, a 2-point swing.
Big 2-point swing. Let's take a look to see. Yeah, that's going to be one of those ones that did not swing the right way. But I always say there's bad calls on both sides, and it's hard for the refs in real time to see everything.
This one goes off the tape in an 8-8 game. Allen dug out. Here's Crawford. Huge dig all the way to the roof. Broussard off hands. Leoniak off hands and out. Point NC State.
It's a good thing Wake Forest has these 40-foot ceilings in here.
Not the case in every ACC gym.
True, I think the lowest gym in the ACC is Clemson. They have a 19-foot gym. That's a pretty tough one to play in.
Lowest gym and lowest ranking in the ACC, the Clemson Tigers this year. What a battle here in the Big Four. Bellows outside. Crawford way out. 2-point lead.
This has been a monumental night for the Deacons. No matter which way this swings, Maruska getting her 1,000th career dig. Ryan Baker getting her 2,000th career assist.
Timeout for Wake.
Dior Charles with her career high number of blocks here. And it's taken all of that to stay here in this 5th set with NC State.
With the entire match, we played over 150 points. We separated by 2 total points. Every set, every rally, and it comes down to literally the last 2 plays you've seen.
It's been a lot of really fun volleyball. This is the kind of volleyball you want to watch. Point-for-point volleyball, anybody's game. You look across the stat line, the differences are so marginal. The difference of this game is going to be who really has the stamina and mental acuity to stick it out.
2 coaches playing for different motivations. Wake Forest playing spoiler. They'll have a couple of ranked foes coming up. And NC State, this is a do-or-die kind of game from a resume standpoint. And looking at the NCAA tournament. 31 ties in this match. Over 4.5 sets. Ton of credit for State in that 4th set, overcoming a deficit to force this 5th. And now the Wolfpack have a slight bit of control.
And like you said, this is only NC State's 2nd 5th set, and I know when I played, it always made me feel better if my team had played a couple of those. And we'll take a look at Crawford's double-double tonight. That's when you get 2 categories of having double-digit numbers. You can see 16 kills and 10 digs, and that's her 3rd of the season.
Paige Crawford put it on a show. Amanda Rice doing the same, 18 and 7. 2 tremendous pin hitters.
Becca Bellows with a double-double assist and digs as well.
There's Allen. Deep serve, Maruska. Crawford takes advantage through the double. A nice response after those hitting errors.
Crawford getting eerily close to Amanda Rice right now. Amanda Rice sitting with 18 kills. Crawford now sitting at 17, I believe, after that.
Rice out on rotation. Crawford in the front row, and here's Baker. Peterson from her smart. Was there any touch? Yes, point NC State.
That was kind of a funky touch. Just from the trajectory of the ball, I thought it was a touch, but I didn't really see it live in motion from the angle that we're at here. Let's take a look. Yep.
The left hand of Murphy there. Good look by our Cruz with 2-point difference. Baker outside. It's been Crawford set. Good save. Rice down line. Farrell there. Crawford
no call
touch.
on that double.
Dump. Pancake. Save. Over. Cabello. Brizard off a shoulder. Point State.
And I do love that they've kind of done away with the double calls because it allows for these more athletic, long rallies that NC State was still able to get through.
With the timeout late.
NC State starting to pull away here. Wake Forest doesn't have a lot of room for error again this 5th set. Only to 15.
What a battle here in the 5th. 2.5 hours of non-stop competitive action.
I don't think a lot of people could do anything high intensity for 2.5 hours.
And it's come down to 3 total points.
It's been tight, and if you're NC State, really the majority of the pressure is on you. You're in a foreign gym. Your NCAA tournament placement depends on this. If you're Wake Forest, Randy mentioned, they're not really out for any sort of revenge or anything like that. It's great to beat an in-state rival, especially when you've lost them the last 9 out of 10 meetings. But it really comes down to that pride of ownership, getting a complete match, making sure that they play their brand of volleyball from start to finish. And we see glimpses of it in a lot of these games, and then we see moments where it kind of dissipates a bit. And we've seen a lot of consistency in this match tonight.
How How about Amanda Rice playing on a bad ankle? It's the Jordan flu game. It was the Rice ankle game. 2 kills shy of her career best, and here is State 3 points from the match, and keeping their tournament hopes alive for the NCAAs. Race to 15, win by 2 here in the 5th. Baker real tight. Brizard into Farrow. What a dig. Crawford touches down. It threw off the back row player. And point Wake.
Crawford has been so smart. Such a high volley IQ with so many of these shots.
Here's Paige Crawford. Deep and out. 2 points in the match.
Maybe a little bit too much juice, a little bit too much of excitement.
And in these rotations, Paige Crawford subs out. Drew Lalaji comes in, the Atlanta, Georgia, true freshman. These are critical points. Wake will have one less hitter in the back row.
This is her first time in the match. She almost got subbed in that second set, but they ended up not using her. So probably a lot of nerves.
Farrell returns it. Murphy off hands. Rice into the block, out of bounds, match point.
NC State breaking the cardinal rule of when a sub comes in is serve the sub. Let's take a look at this out-of-system play here. Again, Amanda Rice just being Amanda Rice.
Tournament life's on the line for NC State. Out of bounds, Wake can serve it out.
Breathing a little bit of life here. And you're getting a little nervous here if you're NC State when you see Kendall Phillips get behind that service line as she had that pivotal ace and run there in that 4th set.
Kendall Phillips now in the serve. She's been the serve specialist all night. Match point. In play. Outside Rice. Off hands. Amanda Rice terminates. NC State survives in 5.
Great game of volleyball.